Okay, hi everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited. There are so many people here. This is great. I think this is probably one of the very first events of the year, which is kind of crazy that we're already in February. I don't even understand how that one happened, right? But here we are in February, and I'd like to know, where is everybody coming from? Because this is a full room. This is like the most amount of people I've seen here in a long time. So I would love for you guys to go to the chat box and show me, where are you from? Or just obviously tell me, because you guys are sitting in the room. So the more active you are, the more participant you are, guess what? The more you're going to actually get out of today. All right, I see Dallas, New York City, Chula Vista, California, nice, London, Athens, Greece, very cool. Quite a few people from Europe, Ohio, Virginia Beach, good. Aiken, South Carolina, Guaraco. Is that correct? Guaraco? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Caribbean. Ottawa, Canada. Very cool. Well, I am so happy to see we have pretty much almost all of the world covered except for like Asia and the Oceania region, right? Unless you guys are super quiet there, because we'd love to see if you guys are here as well. Well, I want to welcome you all. I'm so excited that you guys are here. And the coolest thing about trading in the financial markets is that it is such an international thing, right? You could literally do it from anywhere in the world. I absolutely love it. And hello from Atlanta, Georgia as well. Well, I am Marina, the Trader Chick, and I'm going to simplify your day trading. So let's begin. This is me. And today what I want to cover is, I want to bust some myths, because I believe that the majority of the times we have issues when we do trade or whatnot is that we have a lot of myths and a lot of limiting beliefs and understandings about what is happening in the world, right? Like in this particular industry. So we're going to bust some of those. We're going to get down to the lingo, because a lot of times people don't even understand the basic lingo, which can make all of the difference, and quite a few other things that can elevate all of your trading and financial knowledge. That is definitely going to be on the plate today. And I want you guys to know that even though this is a presentation and it is for everybody, it's all about you guys learning. So the more questions you have for me, the more I'm able to actually help you, rather than just, sit here and talk to you and show you my presentation. Because a lot of the stuff is, it's there, it's readable for you guys to be able to see everywhere. But here you have me, I'm talking to you in the flesh. So the more questions you have, the more I'll be able to help you. And that's truly my goal. So before I jump into the presentation, I want to do a quick intro and a little bit of fun, get to know me, who I am. Why? Because every single person that is sitting here, we all are humans. We're wholesome beings, right? Like, we come to sit in front of our charts and we bring ourselves to those charts. And the second you start to realize that you are bringing yourself and not just sitting there like a robot looking at those charts, you'll be able to enjoy the process so much more. And it's truly all about enjoying the process. Okay, so I am Marina, the Trader Chick, and this is me. I am living in Barcelona. I am an expat. We moved to Barcelona literally a year ago. I cannot even believe how quickly this year has flown by. And by the way, I see that you guys are from all over the world. I don't know how your winters have been going, but let me tell you what, I think South Africa, you guys are actually experiencing your summers, right now. Barcelona never got into winter mode. We have been in like between 15 to 18 degrees Celsius, and I think winter is just like flown right past us. So yeah, it's been absolutely amazing weather. I've actually been an expat for over 20 years. Before we moved to Barcelona, me and my family have been living in Central America, and a lot of people always ask me questions about becoming an expat, because they wonder, like, is it possible to trade? And yes, you could trade anywhere in the world. And the other cool thing about trading is that before I became a day trader, I was a fitness instructor. Okay, why do I say that? Because so many people have this wild notion that you have to be a math whiz or economics background or financial background. None of those are true. None of those, right? I was a fitness instructor and I'm still to this day a travel writer because I own a travel site. I have a travel blog. That's been my first business online. I have several businesses. I'm not only a day trader because when you start to really master day trading, I do it less than an hour per day. I'm good. 1 hour, I'm done, and then I have the whole day. So travel for me and my family is not a luxury. It's a full-on necessity. For instance, on Friday, I am off to Istanbul for a week, come back, and then I'm off to Portugal. So there's just like nonstop, right? And why? Because we could do that as traders. It's the coolest thing ever, right? And the other thing is that I'm trilingual. And the only reason I bring this up really is because when I began trading over 12 years ago, I had a lot of struggle. I was really, really struggling. So, as I mentioned earlier, I lived in Central America for over 20 years. So, I learned Spanish in my later years. However, I was born in the Soviet Union. So, Russian is my mother tongue. But I moved to the US when I was really little. So, when I learned English, I didn't actually learn a new language as much as I was just learning how to speak, right? However, when I learned Spanish, I learned how to speak Spanish, and it's a whole process. And after struggling for quite some time with my trading, I started to apply my how I learned Spanish to applying how to understand the markets. And I realized that the markets are actually, they speak to you, right? They speak to you the same as learning a new language. So when you learn how to understand the markets as a language, it completely can revolutionize your trading. And like I mentioned earlier, trading, the coolest thing about it, you could do it from anywhere in the world. There's no excuse about internet, guys. I lived in Guatemala for 14 years. I remember visiting my family in New York City, Manhattan, where, it's supposed to be like the pinnacle of the world or whatever they want to call themselves. And I remember having issues with my internet there. Meanwhile, Guatemala, no problems. There's no more, you cannot use that as a scapegoat. Oh, well, how's the internet? It's good everywhere. And that's the beauty of it. And before COVID, I used to do quite a lot of in-person events like Money Show, the Traders Expo. And today, I just love to do online virtual ones. And if something comes around where I live in Barcelona right now, I will definitely join. But I don't go out of my way for that anymore because I find that I could reach more people at home the way you guys are. And that's the beauty of trading, right? So I created a worksheet for you guys, completely free, that I want you to get. You could go to makingofadaytrader.com. You could go there right now and get the worksheet for free. You'll get the worksheet and you can follow along with the presentation. And as David mentioned several times, he is recording this. So you guys are going to be getting a replay of it and then you could use it together. So again, makingofadaytrader.com. Okay, guys, let's get into this. All right. What in the world is day trading? And why is it not investing? I am now living in Barcelona, and a lot of people know that I am a day trader and that I also help people learn how to day trade. And constantly I'm getting questions. So, what should I invest in? I always tell them that we day trade to invest. So, day trading is not investing. And why is that? First of all, unlike day trading, you do not want to diversify. Look, guys, if you're going to get anything out of my presentation, I'm hoping this is a biggie. You do not want to diversify. Imagine, here's a good example, right? Imagine your child or some child comes up to you and they're like, hey, Mama, Papa, I want to learn how to play a musical instrument. And you're like, okay, cool. Which instrument do you want to learn? Well, I want to learn how to play the guitar, the flute, the drums, and the piano. And you look at them and you're like, maybe you should just pick one because they're all really different. And if you go for all of them, you're not going to learn any of them. So it's really important to just focus on the one, right? It's the exact same thing for financial markets. When you focus on one, you can master it. If you want to do everything, you're not only going to do nothing, you're also going to start losing. So you really want to master. And that's the main difference with day trading versus investing. The other thing is investors actually care about the companies they are investing in, right? They could sit through those ups and downs. For instance, if you're investing in Apple, right? And the iPhone 15 or 16, I'm losing count, is coming out, right? That's not happening for another 3 months, a year, whatever the amount of time. So you're sitting there and holding on because that's what, you're looking for the new projections for their new products. You are okay if it, goes down a little, retraces, and then continues upward, right? But with day trading, we don't care about that new phone. That's miles away. We want to know what's happening today. And if that market is going down, if Apple is not doing good for the day, we want to go in going down because we don't care if the market is going up or if the market is going down, right? Because honestly, a lot of traders, I would say the majority of traders make more money on the market going down versus going up, right? Because when you short the market, it just happens a lot faster. It goes a lot more before it starts to head up again. So you cannot overlook the market going down. And this is really beneficial when you are day trading, okay? So now, like I mentioned earlier, there's quite a lot of myths that surround trading. And once we start to bust those myths and understand why those myths even exist and get past them, I can guarantee you will be entering a new level of your trading because you're going to see that they're nothing but just misleading and limiting beliefs overall. Okay, the very first one is that it's so risky and that it's gambling. Okay, let's look at it this way. Imagine you want to learn how to fly a plane and you announce it to your family, hey, I want to be a pilot. Are you going to get into a plane the very next day, invite your entire family to get in that plane with you and take off without having a single day of classes or understanding? Chances are no. But if you do, first of all, you're an idiot. Number two, chances are if you even take off, it is a suicidal mission. Why is that so understandable? Because we all understand you got to go to pilot school, you got to do simulation hours, you got to do all this other stuff, right? Because otherwise it's a gamble and it's a suicide mission. Here's the thing, guys, with day trading, it's the same thing. Just because you have a couple of bucks that you can put in the market, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight. And it amazes me every single day that adults, who come to me and constantly are saying that they want to be traders, there's zero barrier to entry and are putting in thousands of dollars into the markets, believing that they're going to exceed and do well. No, that is ludicrous. If you don't know how, if you don't have a strategy, guess what? It's a pure gamble. That's why 95%, although I actually believe it's 98% of people fail and lose money and then say that day trading is dangerous because those 98% think they're going to become rich yesterday. And I get this all the time. It is a disaster. Do not ever do that. And that takes the gamble off the table. Once you understand what you're doing, once there's a strategy, there's no more gambling. The other thing is that you need $25,000 to get started. Another total lie, like massive lie, right? Why? Because the only reason you need $25,000 or the brokers make you believe that you need it is when you want to get a margin account. I'm going to talk a lot more about margin accounts because they are the biggest hoax of working with a broker. So make sure you stick around to hear what exactly margin accounts are. First, you need to know is that they are not mandatory. They are not obligatory. If you want to day trade and you only have $5,000 or $1,000, there are plenty of different markets you could go in without having to worry about anything at all. And even if you want to day trade in the equities market for, let's say, $1,000, you have a small account, as long as you don't have a margin account, nobody's going to care. I'm really going to get into the margin accounts. So really be on top of it, guys. Margin accounts, this is how they really get you. All right. The other big myth is that you need to have a math background, financial background, economics background, or an engineer background. No, you don't. I was a fitness instructor. I don't know anything about math. I mean, I cannot do math at all. There's zero reason for me to have any math whatsoever. The only time I use math is when I'm calculating my profits and my losses. And guess what? I could use a calculator for that one. You do not need that whatsoever. And that it's really stressful and chaotic. Well, if you're sitting in front of this, this is gonna, you know, completely get everybody into chaos mode. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, there used to be this super, super funny sitcom. It's old, it's probably like 15 years old now. It was called The King of Queens. Really cute show. Anyways, the main character, this is like 15 years ago, right? Before Netflix, before all the streaming. This character got a 96-inch screen and he put it into a TV room and he had DirecTV. I don't know if you guys remember DirecTV. It had like 1,300 channels. And him and his buddies are sitting there watching this new huge screen and they're flipping channels every 30 seconds. And one of the guys is like, stop, you're going to trigger my epilepsy. This is going to trigger anyone's epilepsy. This is so unsustainable. This is such a myth that you are going to be able to do this. No human eye, no human brain, no human mind, or any kind of mind can manage looking at all these screens. It's absolutely not sustainable. You will burn out and you will never make any real moves because you'll be in constant analysis paralysis. I have one screen, one screen. I have one chart, one screen, and that's all you need. Simplicity is the best thing. The other massive, massive myth is that you're constantly needing softwares, indicators, algorithms. Oh my goodness. No, you do not need to buy any of this. What you do need is a good platform, right? You cannot be a Formula One driver in a minivan, right? You need to have the proper vehicle. Normally, the proper vehicles are charting softwares, right? They're charting softwares. And if you have a good charting software, that usually comes with great universal indicators. You do not need algorithms. The only people making money off of algorithms are the ones building the algorithms and selling them to you. Nobody's making money off of the actual algorithm and winning trades. It's a total lie, total myth. So get past that right now because I know it's easy to just throw money at stuff instead of sitting down and actually learning a process. But once you learn that process, it's amazing, right? It's absolutely amazing. And that is what's going to sustain you and give you the consistency. The other thing is sitting and listening to research and doing all this research and the news and doing all this work beforehand. Oh my goodness. I cannot even tell you the amount of quote unquote equity traders, stock traders. They wake up at 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, sit there and do all this research, all this news, then get online, lose their money because nothing in the news is real in the first place, right? The majority of the stuff is just all agenda driven by these pundits who just want to be able to drive the market for their own use. And then they finish the day, completely drained. And then they sit and watch and listen to more news and do more research. Totally unsustainable, completely like overlooks the entire reason we're in this is to enjoy life. This sounds like a hellish life. And news and research do it for you. I don't look at any news. I open up my charts, 5 minutes of understanding what is in front of my charts because it's all about the technical analysis. And then I go right into my actual trading. So this market research, massive myth. You do not need to do this. Okay, another thing. And this is a real thing, guys. It's called trigger happiness. And I can guarantee that every single person sitting in this room right now, including me, has had this happen. So what is trigger happy? It is going in and out of trades all the time, right? I remember when I first began, I used to sit for 2 hours and had like 40 different trades. First of all, even if they were winning, I was getting completely demolished with the commissions, right? Like I was losing more money on the commissions. Didn't matter if I was winning or not, right? Because it's not possible. So you have to think of yourself as a big game hunter, okay? Or a sniper. I know that these are pretty radical analogies, but they're the best ones. Why? Because a big game hunter or a sniper, they go out and they wait for the big game. They wait for that moment, right? And that's exactly what pro traders need to do and do. is they go out and they don't just go shooting at, little prairie dogs or little field mice. They wait for those big games. They wait for those highly probable, highly profitable trades. So a professional trader maybe will take between 1 to 3 trades per day. And I don't even think 3 trades, because their trades, the ones they do look for, because they have a strategy, are the ones that will give them 80 to 90% probability of winning, and winning big. Okay. And I actually always say the most radical way to trade is conservatively. All right, guys. The thing is, a lot of times small profits are the ones that are going to bring you those big profits yearly. When you hear about those aggressive moves, you never hear about those aggressive losses. Okay. There's a reason why they're only showing you one side of the coin. Here's the other big, massive problem. The thing is with trading is that it is an emotional activity, right? It's emotional. A lot of times is that it runs on emotions. So fear of missing a trade, FOMAT, I've coined that term, is because it is from an emotional stance, right? You see a trade, maybe you were talking, maybe you were looking at Facebook, maybe you just came back from the bathroom and you're like, oh my God, there's a trade happening in front of me. And now you're starting to chase that trade. And then, of course, when you chase the trade, you enter, by then it's too late. And then there's all of this emotional turmoil because you had this fear of missing a trade. But here's the reality. There are a million other trades coming. There's a million other trades coming. Why do you have to chase that one? Just let it go. It's like a wave. It's like a surfer. If they miss one wave, they know that there's going to be another 100 waves coming. Sit it out. Just wait. There's going to be another trade coming. Okay, so back to that one instrument. Remember I told you guys in the beginning, if you get even the one most important thing is one instrument, you do not want to diversify when you are trading. Okay, if you pretend that you do, I can guarantee you are going to be losing money. I can guarantee it, and you guys could take me up on that and write me and show me that I'm correct, but I have yet to see that happen, especially when you have not mastered one market. So what are the markets to trade? So here's the thing. There's several. And if you're going to be choosing, I recommend choosing the one that you feel that you like the most about. And once you find that one, go even deeper. So here we are, Forex, foreign exchange, right? This is a really popular one, right? And even inside Forex, what is Forex? It's about pairs, right? It's about finding two currencies that are working against each other, with each other, whatever you want to do, studying them, understanding, some of the most popular ones is obviously euro versus the dollar, and there's, others as well. But again, you don't want to go and do 15 different pairs. Choose 2 at most, because it's still a lot of research. It's still a lot going on, and you need to understand it, and that's how you'll be able to learn from it. Equities. I love it when I ask people, oh, so what do you trade? Stocks, equities. I'm like, what does that mean? Just in the US market alone, there's over 5,000 equities that you could choose from. So you're doing them all? No, you sound like an amateur. When somebody tells me that, I know right away that they're just amateurs, because inside the equities market, that's when the pros shine. What do pros do? A lot of them can do sectors, pharmaceuticals, technology, entertainment. Others do just big caps. Others do small caps. Some people do penny stocks. I personally don't believe in that. I think it's a very, very, very manipulated market, but that's, again, if you're going to do it, really focus on it. But I personally know that a lot of people, really good pro traders, they focus on individual stocks. Amazon, Meta, Microsoft. I mean, these are, what is that? Tesla. These are some of the strongest and most volatile. They are highly movable, very powerful stocks that if you focus on them, you could do really well, because they are always really moving, right? They are really hot stocks. Futures, again, another one. When I say to people, when I ask people what they're trading, oh, I trade futures. I'm like, okay, so you're trading wheat, you're trading soy, you're trading crude, you're trading ES, because none of those work together. None of them work the same way. So again, instead of sounding cool, because I know for a fact when you tell me futures that you're not doing well, how about telling me I trade such and such? For instance, I personally trade the E-minis, the ES mini. That's it. I love the ES Mini. It is such a beautiful, flowing market. It is the S&P 500 index on the futures market. Love it. It's been a great one for me. If you want to go and do NASDAQ, awesome. Russell, great. The indexes, or you could go into soy, you could go into wheat, you could go into sugar, or you could do crude, but you got to choose that one. You cannot just do many, right? It does not work. Options is another one, right? I get a lot of people that are like, oh, I want to do options and equities and all this. I'm like, okay, great. Maybe choose the one and then focus on that. And the other one is crypto, right? Crypto is a big, big, big market. And again, when somebody's like, oh, I play with crypto, I'm like, what do you do in crypto? Crypto has 6,000 altcoins and projects. And if they say Bitcoin, I'm like, Bitcoin is one out of those 6,000, right? So again, you really need to understand your market, and it's kind of like niching down, becoming laser focused, right? All right, so now I want to really talk to you guys about, brokers and margins. Remember how I told you that margins is not obligatory, it's not mandatory. And on the other hand, it is what it is loan sharking. Literally, it's the same thing as a loan shark. It's the same thing as going to some mobster and borrowing money from them to make stupid decisions. Why is that? So brokers, let me back it up a little bit first. Why do we need to know which market we want to be in? Because every market has a specialized broker. If you want to be doing crypto, are you going to go to an equities broker? No, even if that equities broker is saying that they do some crypto, that's not their primary exchange. So they're going to be charging you extra for their feed, and they're going to be charging you extra for the commissions. So you need to know which market you're going to be in. So I do futures. So I work with a futures specialized broker. I get the lowest commissions. I get the best feed, right? It's the same for any market, right? If you want to do options, don't go to a crypto exchange. Okay, this is super important to understand. Now, the majority of brokers, especially when it comes to equities, they give you this, they call it a perk. They give you a perk of having a margin account. So basically what they're telling you, if you have $25,000, now we can lend you another $25,000 on your margin account. Meaning, if you want to buy more than what you have, great, here's that money. What they don't tell you is that you need to pay them back. You need to pay them back with interest. They don't care if you win or lose. They're going to come after it regardless. Why would you want to do that? That is pure gambling, and that is showing desperation, and that is all bad, right? All bad. You do not ever want to do that. And I'm going to actually preface even more of a specific one is crypto. Leveraging, that will kill you. Crypto is an erratic market. And if you are leveraging 10x, 100x, whatever you think sounds sexy, because a lot of people throw those numbers out, crypto, I have literally seen, even just in Bitcoin, which is like the most stable, it goes up and down in a quarter of a second, completely losing everything for people and then jumping straight up. Don't leverage anything. Just don't leverage anything, guys. It can completely annihilate your accounts. So you can tell your broker from the very second you get with them, I do not want a margin account. And they won't open it for you. Like I said, that is their way to get more money out of you. Brokers, their one thing to do is make money from you, commissions or however. They do not care if you know what you are doing. On the contrary, they prefer you not knowing what you are doing. Okay, very important. And like I mentioned before, you have to know what market you are going to be trading, because then you find the correct broker who gives you the best commissions, who gives you the best fees. All right. Otherwise, forget about it. You will continue losing. And I also mentioned platform. You do not need to buy anything else. You do not need to spend any more money on anything other than a good, strong platform. A charting platform will be your greatest thing for you. You need to understand which platform works with the market that you want to go with. All right, guys, let's talk about day trading lingo, because it absolutely amazes me and floors me the amount of people putting their hard-earned money into the market, and they don't even know the difference between a buy and a short and a long and a short and a sell. It's incredible to me. The most basics, right? If you want anything you do in this world, anything, you need to know the basic lingos, right? If you want to be a doctor, You're going to learn some basic lingos. If you want to be a mechanic, you're going to learn the basic lingos. Otherwise, if you enter, an operating room and you don't have a clue about any lingo, guess what? They're going to kick you right out. But because there's zero barrier to entry in the financial markets, nobody's questioning your knowledge, right? So let's start to understand a little bit more about this. Intra-day trading. It's so simple. You're literally in and out of your positions in one day. Why is that so important? Because when you are an intraday trader, you're not going to be looking at a chart that's 3 days or a week, because that doesn't work for you, right? Because you're trading for the day and you need to look at a chart that's between 5 minutes, 15 minutes, right? But if you're a swing trader, if you like to be in for a week, 3 weeks, a month, do you really need to look at the 1 minute chart? No. So understanding what kind of trader you are will help you with the time frame a lot better as well, and it'll help you make better decisions. All right, bull market. Pretty simple, right? Market is going up, bear market, market is going down. There are 3 trends. A lot of times people forget and don't understand that there are 3 very important trends. Upward trend, downward trend, and the sideways trend. The sideways trend is literally where the majority of people end up losing all of their money. And people overlook that because they think, oh, it's just flat, it's no momentum. And they want to try and trick the market because they think they're going to predict what the market is doing or beat it. Never going to happen. You can never, ever beat the market. All right. What is important here? We all hear about risk management and stop loss, right? How many people actually practice that? Not as many as you think, right? This whole mental stop, it's absolutely amazing to me. And a mental stop, a mental risk management is literally like saying you're going to put your baby into the car, put in a mental seatbelt, and then hope and think to yourself that you're going to be able to save them during a hardcore car accident, right? Never going to happen. Never going to happen, right? You guys are going to be dead. So the same thing with this mental stop, this mental risk management. What happens? People think that they're going to be able to stop or get out of that. Never. You have to put in that stop. It has to be in there in the market. You're telling the market, hey, I'm a pro. This is all I could risk on this trade. I'm telling you, this is where I'm going to get out. So here's the upside. You could also do, and you need to do the same with a profit target. You need to tell the market, this is where I want to take my profit, because guess what? When you're putting in that mental profit target, your greed, your ego is always going to win, and it's going to be like, wait, it's continuing. I'm going to stay for more. And then boom, it turns around right where you wanted to originally take the profit and then stop you out. All right. It's important to be able to do that. I'm going to repeat the charts, guys. Holy grail for traders. You don't want to be a Formula One racer in a minivan. You'll look like a fool. You need to have the proper chart. And with those charts is when you get those universal, amazing indicators that you do not need to spend more money on. They are already part of it. Don't spend money on other indicators. It's not going to be the thing that's going to give you money. Okay. I have also mentioned again, trending markets. The sideways market, guys, is the place where the majority of people lose their money. You need to go and look at your trading journals where you're keeping track to see where you're losing the amount of money. And I can guarantee 80% is usually during those sideways markets. And if you're sitting here in the live market and you don't have a trading journal, stop right now, because you are never going to succeed. It's that simple. You need to back test. You need to understand what's working and what's not. All right, let's talk about this. What's a buy? What's going long? Because I get a lot of people that are sitting in a sell, in a short, and they're like, why is it not going up? Why am I losing money? Buying, going long, literally super simple. You're entering low, exiting high, and taking that profit in between. You're entering at a lower price point, exiting at a higher price point. Boom. You're buying, you're going long. What's a sell? What's going short? The exact opposite. You're entering at a high, you're exiting at a low, and you're taking the profit in between. If you're going to sit there and be like, well, somebody's losing money, I mean, who the hell cares? No one cares who's losing money. They don't care about you. If your technical analysis is telling you to enter at this high because the market is heading south, that means it's going short, you get in at a sell and you buy at the bottom. That's all it is, right? So you're going short. that's what it looks like. You are selling. Super simple. Now, it's very important for you to understand between a market entry and a limit order. What does that mean? Because a lot of times when a person that is an amateur does not understand what is going on in the market, they are putting in market orders. That means they don't know what's going on. They have no strategy. And they're like, oh, the market looks good. Okay, I think I'm going to enter there, right? Without any idea what's happening. That's called a market entry. That is literally telling the market, you know what? I have no idea what I'm doing. And because of that, you are welcome to find me. And the market does find you. It finds you 25%, and that's called slippage. So for instance, if you want to enter, let's say a stock that's $100 and you want to enter because you think it's going to go up to 110, you enter at that 100, guess what? It's already going to take 25% of that. So it's already going to enter you at around 102. Okay, that's called slippage. And it goes the same when you market exit. Okay, but when you put in a limit order, when you tell the market, you know what, this is my strategy. If it's going to hit here, this is where I'm placing my market order. This is where I want you to put me in. I do not want to go to any other pricing. The market listens to you. It also respects you, knowing that you are a pro, that this is where you want to get filled, and it does not find you. And when it gets there, it fills you, and that's when you win. Okay, it's super important. I'm going to go back to that stop limit, guys, because I would say 95% of the people put in their stops as a mental stop. And they truly believe they're going to save their baby during a massive car crash with their arms, because a mental stop is the same exact as a mental seatbelt. All right, you got to have that stop in there. You got to tell the market, this is all I am willing to risk on this trade. And if you don't know what that amount of you're risking, you got to stop now, because you're going to end up losing your entire account. So it's better to lose 50 bucks versus your entire account. Trust me, it is important. Technical analysis. Look, technical analysis is literally the end all do all. It is the most important thing. This is you reading what the charts are saying. And it's super simple. It is not spending $5,000 on some algorithm or some software, because the market speaks to us. And it does not matter which instrument you are trading, the market talks to us the same on the charts. So what are these basic technical analysis which will completely revolutionize your day trading? Areas, resistance and support. What's a resistance area? It is literally the ceiling of the market. This is where market has hit over and over and over again. Several times it is the ceiling. That means the market is telling you, you know what? Chill out right now. I can't break through this. Let's see where it goes. It might break through, or it might completely change direction. Support area, the same exact thing, but it is the floor. When the market is going down and it starts to hit over and over and over again, it is hitting that floor. You have to respect it, because the market respects that area. Reversal patterns. Reversal patterns to me they're my favorite. I absolutely love reversal patterns. They're so simple to understand, and they can truly keep you out of so many bad trades and allow you to enter so many good ones. So what is a reversal pattern? Double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders. These are the best. And to me, divergence is my holy grail. Guys, these are free. These are free indicators, and they can save you so much money, and they can make you so much money. When there is divergence, look at it right here. The price action is going in one direction. The MACDs, I personally use the MACDs. You could use the RSIs. You could use whatever. Is going literally in the opposite direction. What is that telling me? That it's going to change direction? No. But what it is telling me is that the market is losing its strength. And I never want to have my money in a market that is losing strength. So I take that money out and I sit on money, because money is king and cash is king. And until the market is telling me I have completely switched direction or I'm breaking out, I'm not touching it. And that is through divergence. All right, guys, let's put all this together. Like I said, I have the entire presentation for you guys, makingofadaytrader.com. You could go here for free, makingofadaytrader.com. You could get it right now. Just go here. All right, so let's put all this together. Let's talk about breaking out, breaking the breakout trade setup, right? We all know that the breakout trade is probably one of the most profitable trades out there. Yet, if you don't have your areas drawn in, if you don't understand when there's going to be diverges, reversals, if you don't understand those basic things, you're never going to spot the breakout, right? Because a breakout is this simple. Imagine the market is going in one direction, but all of a sudden, it's not sure what it's doing, right? It's kind of like bouncing in between this channel, between this resistance, between this support, and it's not really going anywhere. But all of a sudden, boom, it breaks out and flies in the same direction. That is the breakout trade. You need to draw this out. You need to understand when this is happening. Okay, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on this amazing, amazing trade. So this is how I do my trades. I only have two indicators. Like I mentioned earlier, I only use one chart. I only use two indicators. I use the EMA lines and the MACDs, nothing else at all. Okay, it's so I like to keep it simple. I use my EMA lines for where I enter because a trader is like an archer. Have you guys ever seen an archery competition? Those archers aren't just like roaming the field. They have a very specific place where they stand and where they shoot their arrow, right? And they hit the bullseye, that's their profit target, right? That's what you need to do. So for me, that's how this works. When I spot the breakout, when I spot that there's no more divergence, that there's massive movement in the market, boom, that's where I like to enter. All right, guys, here's the thing. We have absolutely everything we need to take action. We have everything we need to take action, right? We have these amazing summits, these presentations, we have YouTubers, we have podcasters, we have videos, we have books. But at the end of the day, how do you know that you're doing it right? How do you know that you are doing it right? Because all of this is great. But the real question is, how do I get started? Right? How do I get started? And this is not only from beginners. I get this question asked from seasoned traders who have been trading for ages, and they're asking me, how do I turn this around? How can I finally become consistent and profitable and make this a livelihood? And I have to be honest with you, the majority of the times, it's usually lacking basic understanding, the understanding of the basics. Because I'm always saying to people, like, you cannot be putting in windows if you don't have a wall, right? Because there's no barrier to entry in the market. Just because you have some money, you're not going to be earning. You have to first build your foundation. You have to first understand the basics to start to put in your windows. And then you can make beautiful, beautiful windows and they will stand there. Okay, it is so important. It's like driving a car. Look, my oldest son just recently learned how to drive a car. And when he finally got in the car, he sat in the driver's seat, and my husband was teaching him. He was like, okay, you gotta buckle up, put the foot on the brake, on the clutch, get the gear out of neutral, put it into first, and then when you're gonna be starting to move the car, release the brake slowly. So and the clutch. My son is like, wait, clutch, brake. What are you talking about? I don't even know where the clutch is. I don't understand what you're talking about because he wasn't first shown the basics. Because at this point, when we get in the car, it's so automatic. But when we first originally got into the car, we learned the basics, where the steering wheel was, where the gear shift was, where the directions was, where the wipers are, where the lights are. Those are the basics. Now, I want you to go even further into your imagination and imagine you are driving a car and you have somebody that sits in the car and they've never been in a car. And you tell them, okay, buckle up. This is going to save your life. And they're sitting there and they're like, buckle up. What do I need to buckle up? I don't understand. What are they talking about? But it's going to save my life. We're not born knowing what a seatbelt is. We're not born knowing that this is going to be the thing to save our lives, right? This is the basics. And if no one teaches you that, how are you going to be able to utilize it properly? And this was my own sad truth. I spent over $20,000 on my education. I'm not even kidding. On the trainings, on workshops, one-on-ones, all of that. But every single time I ask questions about divergences, about resistance areas, about just price action, I was constantly treated like I was supposed to be born with this information or completely ignored. And I struggled and lost money for years because of that until I ended up losing almost $4,000 in 5 minutes. I was so frustrated. I felt so defeated that I just said no more. And I quit. I quit. I could not do it anymore. But here's the thing, guys. This is really important. Every single person in this room, I can guarantee that we are all bit by the trading bug. We are all bit by the trading bug and it never stops itching. And do you know why that is? I'll tell you why. It's because deep down inside, we know that we can do this. We know that we can do this. I remember quitting, and I quit for about 4 months, but I kept, it never stopped itching. And I went back, I'm like, come on, if other people could do this, I know that I could do this. So before, what happened was I had 3 monitors going on. I had 3 monitors. I had 10 indicators going on. I was in constant analysis paralysis. But what I decided to do is I came back and I decided to get back to the basics. I literally donated 2 of my high definition monitors to my garbage bin pretty much. And then I completely stripped my charts to bare naked charts. And then I slowly put in indicators that worked for me. It was like a clean out, right? It was a detoxification of my charts. And slowly, it was like an elimination process. I put in the different kinds of indicators because it's amazing. We think that we should be using some indicators simply because other people are talking about it. I was struggling so much with the Kettler bands, the Bollinger Bands, and Fibonacci's because those are the most popular. Everybody's saying to use them. And when I erased those, it was the biggest breath of fresh air. And my trading took off. Everybody's different. You got to see what works for you. But I get back to the basics. And then a couple of years back, one of my students goes to me. He's like, Marina, your teaching philosophy and structure is very similar to Coach John Wooden. I'm like, who is this Coach John Wooden? I've never heard of the guy, right? So I looked him up online, and of course, I found out who Coach John Wooden is. And if you don't know who he was the most legendary coach ever in basketball, and then he went on to be a legendary life coach. And his entire philosophy and teaching strategy was, when in doubt, get back to the basics. And I mean, this guy has won 88 national championships, 10 NCAAs. I mean, the accolades, they're just nonstop. He worked and trained A-star players, completely A-star players. Yet, every single time they started a new season after all of their wins, he would go back to the basics. How to tie your shoe, how to roll up your sock, how to dribble the ball. And do you know why? Because it doesn't matter what your ego is telling you, if you're out on that court and you didn't tie up your shoe because you're just too cool to do that, and your shoe falls off, you sprain your ankle, you're out. You're out for the rest of the season. So you got to get back to the basics, because the basics is that foundation that's going to allow you to build those pretty windows that they don't crash. And this is what I have for you guys today. I have a special offer only for the participants only. I do not offer this to anybody at all. It's my introductory course, Boot Camp for Day Trading. You could do it on any apparatus, iPhones, tablets, Androids, laptops, desktops, you name it. You could do it anywhere. All of this is worth one-time price of $97. Now, I want you guys right now to wake up. You guys are here right now. So just humor me, go and do this. Go into your navigation, into your computer, and put this in right now. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. So you can follow along to see what all that you will get for $97. Because let me tell you, $97 today does not bring you that much of an investment what you're going to get. Do you guys like to play golf? We do. Me and my husband love to play golf. And when we first lived in Guatemala, we used to go to the golf course, and it was like, I don't know, $57 per person. Before we moved to Barcelona, it was $119 per person in Guatemala. I can't even imagine what it costs in Europe. We haven't actually done it here, or in the US, or wherever you're from. Okay? Do you like to go out to lunch or dinner? $97 doesn't buy anything anymore, especially to be able to take out your friends out. So $97. So let me break it down for you, what you're going to get. And again, go to bootcampfordaytrading.com. You will have a very good breakdown exactly so you could follow along of what you guys are going to get. You're going to get the simplified version of the day trading package. Now, I know that when you get a platform, they could feel overwhelming. So there is tutorials in the platform so that you guys could get that set up and rolling so you could start to do the fun stuff. And the fun stuff is trading. So you don't have to lose all that time on setting up your platforms. I know how hard it could be. Then we really get into the market anatomy, understanding and dissecting the trends, the movements, upwards trends. Remember I told you about the sideways trends, truly understanding that, those magic telltale signs of reversals and divergences. Okay, because reversal patterns, when you start to recognize them, they will be so helpful, and it's all free, and they're really simple to spot. But if you don't know what to look for, you're not going to see it, right? That's being part of the basics, understanding. We're going to get into the divergences. I'm telling you, the divergences for me is my holy grail. Spotting those support and resistance areas. Divergences have saved me so much money in bad trades, but I can not making bad trades, and really help me understand when divergence is done and when it is broken, and entering those really good trades. Again, if you're not understanding what that is, how are you going to spot it? And then we're going to really focus on the breakout trade, on the fake out breakouts, and truly mastering the fake out breakouts. Fake out breakouts could be completely avoided, and the mastering the breakout trade, because those are the most powerful trades out there. And when you spot them, that will be your best thing ever. And you will get unlimited access to this curriculum. Okay, all of this is valued at $1,600. You will get all of this for $97. Here's what some of my students have to say. And I have students from all over the world, because we can do that with trading, right? You can trade anywhere in the world. That is the beauty of day trading. Michelle has said, best money I ever spent. I'm finishing a boot camp right now. Derek, you are the only mentor that truly checks her work. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. Adrian, I am enjoying your boot camp so much. I am learning every day. But let me share something really important with you. Do you guys remember when I asked you, how do you know that you're doing it right? Do you remember that? How do you know you're doing it right? Who is there helping you? Who are you being accountable to? I am putting in into that $97, not anything extra, one entire month, 1 month feedback, coaching, mentoring with me, unlimited feedback, one-on-one with me, that you guys get to send me your charts with questions. We get to talk one-on-one for 1 month. This is included in the price of the $97 one-time fee, because having a mentor can literally be what to take you to that top. Okay. And on top of that, I have a live trade chat room that it's me sitting there with you in the live market, implementing everything we're learning live, being live, taking trades, and you get 1 month free membership for the live trade chat room. That is on top of the mentorship. Okay, all of this is worth $2,600. The value, but you guys get it for $97. So again, stop everything. Go in right now. You can see it for yourselves. Bootcamp4daytrading.com. Bootcamp4daytrading.com. Here's what you guys will get for that $97. Everything in that course. 30 days one-on-one mentorship with me. 30 days live chat room membership. All of this that we are talking about is worth less than one trade. And we all know that, right? I know that the average trade is usually between $200 to $400. That's how my trades usually are. $97, less than one trade, and you will literally get 10x your return on the investment to be able to go out to 100 of these dinners. So here's the thing though, because of my mentorship and my coaching, I could only take 25 students. And I know for a fact right now, I will tell you that there are a lot of people in the room, and this sells out super quick. So I only have space for 25 students. I really recommend you getting on it. I mean, this is a no-brainer. $97. I'm not here to make money off of you guys. Honestly, my main thing is that it's really saddening to see the amount of people that just jump in the market without knowing anything, losing thousands of dollars when I know that you can make really good decisions. And I'm already trading. Like I said, I'm done trading within an hour of my day. I usually have the entire day free. I have my travel site. I also love to help others trade and do it. So let's go here right now. Put in bootcampfordaytrading.com. This is what you're going to come on. This is the order form. You can see everything written for you right there, right? You will get absolutely everything for that one-time fee. If you do want a payment plan, I have a payment plan for $59 two times, but even with a payment plan, you automatically get everything right away. You get it right away. All right. So again, guys, go here right now. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go here right now. So I have several questions, I think. Let me see here. Glad you're okay. So again, guys, any questions you have, this is your time right now to share and ask. And I'm super excited to have you guys in the course, bootcampfordaytrading.com. You could go right here. Oops. Right here. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Put it into your URL, into the navigation. And this is the order form that you are going to get. Okay, you can see right here, one-time payment, $97. You get unlimited access. You'll get 30 days free mentorship with me, one-on-one mentorship with me. So go right here, bootcampfordaytrading.com. And if you guys have any more questions, please let me know. And thank you all for taking your time and spending it here with us. I so appreciate it. And thank you and enjoy the winter. Hopefully we do get some winter. It'll be a nice change. And thanks, David, so much for having me. I always enjoy being on your presentations.